want to thank all of you for coming out here today. The draft is always a fun time of year, and it's really where you build the core building blocks of your NBA team. You look at our four key players. Andrew Bogut and David Lee were acquired by trade, but the draft was Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and Charles Jenkins, Jeremy Tyler, a big deal. And I know that Bob Myers has had this big smile on his face for several days now for drafting these three young gentlemen. So I want to thank you all for coming. Thanks for people on CSN Bay Area for checking us out here for the Warrior Draft Press Conference. We'll do a little Q&A. There'll be a photo op and kind of the normal drill for these guys. But Bob Myers, the general manager of the Warriors, to my left. Then we have the 7th pick in the draft out of North Carolina. That is Harrison Barnes. To his left is the 30th pick in the draft, the all-time leading shot blocker at Vanderbilt, Festus Ezeli is here. And then to the far left, the Big Ten Player of the Year from Saginaw, Michigan, well, Jason Richardson, hometown as well, Draymond Green from Michigan State, who's the 35th pick. And so we'll start it off with Bob Myers in that as aggressive as the Warriors always talk about being and as energetic and they want to do something, you had kind of said patience in this draft might have paid off the best.
Well, Bob, thanks. I'll steal a line from one of our owners, Peter Guber, who is a much more eloquent speaker than myself. But he said, you want to be impatient but not imprudent. And I think that was the philosophy we applied to this draft, where we targeted these three players, and we did not concede that they would be there when we picked, but we were hopeful. And it happened. And I think our patience did pay off. But I will tell you that as a front office organization, all the way to Joe Lacob, our owner, we're thrilled. And it was a team effort. We had a lot of conversations about what was the right thing to do for this organization, and we just feel great. We're elated. I mean, we think these three gentlemen are going to help us win games, which is what matters in the end. I mean, we want to win, and we just added three people that are going to help us do that.
It's a big day for all three of these guys, so we want to welcome their family. We'll start with Harrison Barnes. Your mom, Shirley, is here, which is good to see. That's terrific. Your sister, Jordan Ashley, and then representatives from Jeff Wexler's office, Colin Smeaton and Perry Rogers. Has it sunk in, being a lottery pick in the NBA and going to North Carolina, high school player of the year, and then here you are as a Warrior? You said this is your first trip to the Bay Area. How's it worked out so far?
It's been absolutely great for me to just come here. I had a chance to go to a soccer game, got a chance to go to a baseball game. So I've definitely been trying to just embrace the city, obviously the Bay Area, and just get acclimated.
So you've already tapped into the free tickets already. That's nice. You figured out, I'm a lottery pick. I'd like to go to the Giants. I'd like to go to the Earthquakes. Very nice. That's the way to play it.
Yeah, thank you to Raymond, our PR guy, for hooking that up for me.
For Festus Ezeli, Festus Sr. is here, which is great to see. Patricia, Ike, Obi, Chucky, Kenny, and then Marlon Harrison's from Bill Duffy's. And if you've seen Festus's brothers, I know that Bob and Joe and the rest of the people have already scouted them, so they're running around here as well. We're projecting large size there. But the family from Sacramento, the thing I got to ask you, I heard at your junior college you were the video coordinator. So I got to see this team getting off the bus when the players come out and you're the video coordinator for this team. I mean, tell people a little bit about coming from Nigeria and your journey. It's pretty interesting.
There's been a lot of up and downs. At first, I just didn't think I could play the game. It was very, very hard for me, very tough. But it just shows you how much hard work pays off. That's what it's been for me throughout my whole career. Is I just worked hard, and I've been the video coordinator, and now I'm sitting here. So it's crazy, and it's still like a dream. It hasn't hit me yet, but it's great.
For Draymond Green, your mother Mary is here, and then Ronald Shade from your agency. The Big Ten Player of the Year, the all-time leading rebounder for Michigan State. Warriors have had some issues rebounding. That's something that you will fit right in. Did you know that the Warriors were looking at you in terms of workouts and things like that?
Well, I knew when I came that, one thing Coach Izzo is big on is knowing how to evaluate yourself and how you played. So I knew I had a pretty good workout when I came here, and Coach Izzo kept telling me, I've been talking to the Warriors a lot. They've called a lot. I've been talking to them. And then, he was just telling me, look out for the Warriors. I think they're going to get you. I've been talking to them. So, when it actually came around, I actually told someone, I think the Warriors may end up taking me, and it ended up coming true, and, it's a dream come true.
Bob, we'll do a little story on each of these guys. I know that with Harrison, you and Joe Lacob flew to New York to get eyes on him and meet him, and I heard he showed up in a suit, then he wanted to work out. He had to change quickly into shorts and the whole bit, but all the scenarios, the prognostications to think of this kind of talent being there at the 7th pick. Tell us a little bit about why you'd go to New York a couple days before the draft just to check him out.
Well, he's gonna pay for that red-eye flight because we invited him here. He's gonna pay our owner. He's gonna pay me for those hours of sleep we lost to go see Harrison. But it was well worth the trip. Look, I think in his own mind he would admit, as would we didn't think he was going to be there when we picked. So when he said, I'm going to decline coming in to work out, it was understandable because he was projected anywhere from 2 to 5 in the draft. So I think what we're trying to do with this organization, Bob, is develop a work ethic that permeates all the way from ownership all the way down to the lowest employee. And so when you see the owner of a team get on a red-eye flight to just cover our bases for a player that we didn't think was going to be there, it shows that we're working hard, we're doing our homework, and he easily could have not been there when we picked. But we did it anyway in the hope that he would be. So, I mean, I think well worth it. He showed up, is obviously an impressive young man, as everybody will learn. So we're thrilled. And then this guy over here, we get to interview we get to interview a lot of potential draftees in Chicago at the Combine. And I will tell you that after 5 or 10 minutes with Festus, you're going to walk away impressed. We feel like in this draft, like any type of employment, we hired 3 great people that are very skilled at their profession, but are also great character people. I cannot tell you, I'd put these 3 up against any 3 in the entire draft as far as who they are and what they stand for. And Festus, all that he's gone through, all that he's accomplished, academically, athletically, it's bar none. So we're thrilled. And then Draymond, look at his resume. He went to one of the top colleges in the country, and all he did was produce and win. Standing next to me, sitting next to me here are 3 guys that win. That's what we need to do. Winning, in my opinion and in our group's opinion, is a skill. These players all have that skill. It's a skill we need. So I'm thrilled. I hope they are. They've already been working. Most players, I represented some players when I was an agent. They wouldn't go out on the basketball court unless they had to. Well, we got some guys here that love playing basketball, and that's fantastic.
Now, Harrison, I was getting a couple texts on draft day. Klay Thompson and Steph Curry already have this competition on who's the best shooter on the Warriors is. I already saw you working out here. They want to know if you're going to get into this little 3-man shooting game to see who is the best shooter on the Warriors. Are you ready for that?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, I know Steph can really fill it up, and Klay's an extremely good shooter as well. So I'm going to try to get on a few horse games and see how I stand.
Well, Fez, I'm going to ask you something here, Festus. You said because your family's from Sacramento, that when the Warriors took you, you're really excited. You said, I'm ready to run through a wall. Now, Mark Jackson teaches guys to run around the wall or over the wall. They're running into the wall.
I'm a little different. I'm a little different. There we go. I'm running through it.
Because we were checking the grades at Vanderbilt. If you're running into the wall, we got issues on that. Draymond, with Tom Izzo is one of the real icons of college basketball. And so he compares you to a guy actually from Country Day High School, and Shane Battier. He said, Draymond Green can do everything. He will rebound. You want him to defend. You shot 40% on the college 3. Tell me about spending 4 years in college and maybe how the Warriors had good success with Charles Jenkins, who was a 4-year college player, that as a man and as a player that maybe the 4 years benefited you in your game.
I think the 4 years at Michigan State definitely benefited me, just coming in out of shape, not having the correct body to be able to do the things that I needed to do to get to this level. It benefited me, but it also benefited me in maturity-wise as well, just staying there for 4 years and going through everything that Coach Izzo pushed you through. I think it helped me out a lot. In today's day and age, you get the one-and-dones a lot. And, I think we're actually blessed to have a guy like Harrison who only did 2 years at school but probably is one of the most mature guys in the draft. You don't get that often. A lot of the young guys that come out are still immature, still have a lot to learn. I think that's, where I stayed 4 years. I think that really helped me out a lot, mature mentally, but also helped me a lot physically as well.
I mean, the fact that Harrison's tapped into the free tickets already shows his maturity level has really moved up the charts. But I was noticing Harrison, Bryce, Jordan, Barnes. North Carolina, Jordan. I mean, is there a story behind the middle name?
Yeah, actually my mom, she was a big Michael Jordan fan. So when she was choosing my name, she decided to put Jordan in there just because she always wanted me to have that, high pursuit of excellence that, obviously Michael exhibited on the court.
And so there was a bit of a fist fight. Draymond Green's going to wear 23. Harrison had him in a headlock, but the Michigan State toughness proved out. He got 23. You got 40. Festus, you would be too young for this, but Akeem Olajuwon was from Lagos, Nigeria, and now you have Serge Ibaka, was in the NBA, via Nigeria. Soccer or NBA? I mean, did you read about Akeem, or is he talked about? Is he a legend in Nigeria? I mean, the NBA dream, where does that start for a kid?
I think Hakeem was somebody I didn't learn about till I came to the States, because I wasn't really a very big basketball person back in Nigeria. Soccer is what we do. Football, as we call it, is what we watch, what we try to enjoy back there. But no, Hakeem is somebody I learned about when I got here, and just learning about his story. He kind of went through similar situations, similar adversities that I went through. It was, I don't know, I kind of really enjoy reading his stories, and he's become a model for me, a role model, because he fought through all his adversities, and he just became one of the greatest players in the NBA.
Draymond, did you pull seniority to get 23? Knowing Harrison's middle name is Jordan, you still took it from him? What was the story with that number?
You learn something new every day. That's new to me. You got the 23, the North Carolina connection, the names. I might have to give it up.
We want to open it up to questions. If you'd grab the microphone and just announce your media affiliation. If you have a question for any of these three guys or Bob Myers, feel free to chime in. I'm going to ask Bob a question here in terms of, it was your first draft, and you've got Jerry West there, you have Larry Riley, Travis Schlenk, Kirk Lacob, Joe Lacob, Mark Jackson. How did you keep that room together? You got some smart people who all have opinions. How did all that work out?
A lot of alpha males in the room, in that room. That's the beauty of it. That's the fun of it. It was an opinionated room. But again, I've answered this question a few times. As long as you can be respectful of each other, which we all were, and agree in the end to build a consensus and stick with it, then everything works out fine. But I will tell you, the days leading up to it, healthy debate is the best way I would describe it. But when the 7th pick came, no doubt on the same page. When the 30th pick came, all on the same page. And when the 35th pick came, it was very clear who our players were. So, and again, we have a great group of people, and I'm thrilled to be working with the people that we've employed, and actually blessed to be with them. And we actually have an owner. I joke around with Joe. He's a pretty good talent evaluator. I mean, sometimes owners, obviously, they own the team. They can do what they want. We're lucky we have one that knows basketball. And if he didn't, it could really go sideways. But thankfully, he does, and we're just thrilled. And we think it worked out great. And as you hear these three gentlemen speak, for the parents that are here, what a wonderful job you've done with your sons. And working in this business, we come in contact with a lot of rookies, a lot of players just entering the NBA. I cannot tell you enough how wonderful people these three guys are. Unbelievable job in raising them.
Harrison, Matt Steinmetz, Comcast Sportsnet. There seem to be two schools of thought on you that I'm hearing out there. One is that you're very much a finished product and can help this team in the short term. And the other is that you actually have more athleticism, and that some people believe you're going to be a better pro than you were in college. How would you react to those two views?
Obviously, the draft was big, the draft combine, because I was able to show my athleticism. But in terms of my ceiling and how I'm going to impact this team, obviously I want to come in and impact it in scoring. But whatever my ceiling is, I plan to reach that. I'm just going to work as hard as I can. Obviously, defense, rebounding are big things on this team. So I'm going to try to contribute in those areas as well and try to do the best I can.
What are the things in your game that you feel you need to improve most on?
I'll have to work with Coach Ehrman defense. I learned that very quickly. Just trying to work on continual ball handling, continue to put the ball on the floor. Obviously, I'm going to be playing with two great shooters in Steph and Clay, so just try to get them involved as well.
John Henry Smith, Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. Draymond, your favorite country Daker ad right here. For Festus and Draymond, we've talked, Matt just mentioned sort of maybe a misconception about your game, Harrison. What are the misconceptions in the draft process about your game that when you come out as rookies, you're going to show, hey, you guys thought I couldn't do this, I actually can?
Well, I think, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm a lot of people's missing out on my athleticism, like I'm going to go jump a 40 like Harrison. But, I think I am a little more athletic than I get credit for, but that's not what I'm going to hang my hat on. What I do is I play hard. I'm going to play tough. I'm going to rebound. I'm going to do those things. But, I think I'm a better defender than I get credit for as well. But that's something that I have to continue to prove. And, if you're going to play defense and you're going to rebound, you're going to find a way on the court somehow. So, I'm always going to do those things, and whatever else happens from there happens. But defense and rebound is always going to help win you games, so that's the thing that I want to do.
I'll piggyback off of that. I think my senior year at Vanderbilt probably wasn't what everybody expected it to be with the injury and everything. And, my athleticism is much better than what I showed this past year, just because of the injury and just because of, stuff that was going on at the time back at school. I just think I'm a better I defended well, I could say that, but I'm a better scorer, a better offensive player. Scorer on the block. I'm better athletically than I show, and I'm just going to show it this year coming up.
Marcus Thompson, Bay Area News Group. Draymond, I wanted to ask you, do you play better with a chip on your shoulder, and do you think you'll have that coming into the league, being passed on through the first round?
Well, that's one of the things that has really driven me this far. It's always been about what he can't do. How far can he go? When I got to Michigan State, they said I would never play. Once I had a decent year, they said that's the best he'll ever do. And they just keep going, and keep going. They never stop. So, it just continues to light more fire under me and just keep on pushing me. And, one thing that I did say about going in the second round was, first off, to go in the second round and come to an organization where the team picked you because they really wanted you and not just because you were there. I think that was one of the main things. And then, I think whatever happens, happens. I didn't go in the first round, so be it. It didn't happen, but I'm somewhere where I'm going to fit in and where I'm wanted, and that's a blessing for me.
Festus, I heard your college coach a few days ago. Asked him about your rebounding numbers, which were a little down last year. He said that he thought psychologically after your injury, you may have had some trouble rebounding in traffic after that injury. Where are you right now with that? Do you feel like you're over that hurdle, or do you think your college coach is full of it?
No, I'm definitely over it now. It took a lot after the injury for me to get back to where I can jump in traffic again. But no, I'm back to 100%. You can see in the SEC tournament and the NCAA tournament as well. You can see I was back to jumping and everything. But yeah, it took a while. It took a while for me to get out of that discomfort zone of being able to jump in traffic, because that's how I got hurt. But I'm fine now.
You guys said that you got together and went through some workouts pretty much very soon after you got drafted. Talk about the decision-making process between the three of you, between that, and what have the workouts been like? Who else have you worked out with? Maybe some of the Warrior veterans, maybe?
Well, of course, you know how they talked about Harrison figuring out the ticket situation already. He didn't work out with us yesterday because he found out he had tickets to the Giants game. But, me and Festus, we worked out together yesterday, and, we did some defensive drills and split up. And, of course, looking to get all three of us in the gym with the guys who are here and just start that bonding. I think that's going to be one of the important things of actually building this into a winning organization and getting things back on the right track. So we're definitely looking forward to all three of us getting together along with the other guys that are here.
Harrison, what's the adjustment like at the NBA 3? 19-9 in college, 23-9 in the NBA. For shooters, sometimes initially it's kind of a wow, that really is a throw almost. Small for the Warriors were the second best three-point shooting team in the NBA last year. The NBA 3, does your range move way out there, no problem?
Yeah, I was able to adjust pretty quickly, but the biggest thing I'm continuing to work on is shooting while fatigued. Obviously, shooting the college 3, when you're tired, it's not a big deal, but, when you add that extra distance, making sure you get enough legs underneath it, the coaches have been stressing, continue to hold your follow through, continue to stick with your form, continue to stick to the basics. So those are the biggest things I'm focusing on right now.
Since you're the boss right now, are you letting Festus in the shooting contest or not? We need to know this later. Since he's stretching out already. Let me tell you, Festus, you're going to be in the paint. See, there's a painted area.
I know.
6'11", 250, you're in the paint.
I
Don't
never
stray
shot
out there.
1-3 in college, so I know I was just messing around with you guys. But yeah, no, I know he's the shooter. I'm the rebounder / dunker, so I'll take that.
See, Mark, he's smarting up already. No more running through the wall. He figured it out. 2 minutes with Mark Jackson. You figured out where you'd be anchored. That's nice. All right, we want to set up the one more. Go ahead, fire away.
Ben Martin with the San Francisco Examiner. Festus, you made a name for yourself as a shot blocker in college, and you're going to be working alongside another elite shot blocker in Andrew Bogut. Can you talk a little bit about what kind of relationship you hope to have with him, both on and off the court?
I'm actually looking forward to it a lot because he's somebody I can play against every day. He's going to get me better, and I mean that's what my game has always been, is improvement every year since I started playing. And I just think that the sky is the limit for me, and he's somebody that I can really emulate, and I can just, I mean, he's a top shot blocker as well. You know, when he's healthy, he's a really, really, really good player. He's one of the best big men in the league, and so I'm just excited to play with him and play. I mean, just playing with him every day is going to get me a lot better.
We want to thank all of you for coming out. We're going to do the photo op with the jerseys and break down for the individuals and things like that with the players. But you're going to like all three of these guys.